Hello and welcome to jasonnewland.com. My name's Jason Newland, and please only listen when you can safely close your eyes. And today on Let Me Bore You to Sleep is Trivia Tuesday. Trivia Tuesday. I don't know about you, but I think the little jingles are actually improving. Maybe not. Maybe not. So, it is 16th of December 2025. It's a Tuesday, the Tuesday before Christmas? I don't know, when is Christmas? No, there's one more Tuesday left, which will be the 23rd. So it's the 16th today. Okay, good, groovy, yum yum. And just to let you know, all my podcasts are uploaded and they're available on, oh dear me, pretty much every podcast provider. All 6 versions are also uploaded straight away to YouTube, and they're also available on my website, jasonnewland.com, where you can download them or you can stream them on the website. There are 6 versions of the recording, without music, with music, and then 5 and 10 hours with both. And that is it. Although, I do have a new podcast. I've not done it yet, but I kind of started a new thing. And I've been doing them. I'm not necessarily going to do them every day, but it's just going to be called Sleep Hypnosis. And I did one yesterday called Calm in Mind. And I've done a couple, but yesterday is going to be like the first one on that podcast, Sleep Hypnosis. And I've got a logo and I've got, everything. So that is going to be something also that I'm going to be doing, like regularly. Yeah. And that's on top of the Let Me Bore You to Sleep. So it just gives you a bit more choice of things to listen to. Also, there are no adverts on my podcasts. And on YouTube, if there's any adverts, then it's not my fault because I don't have my YouTube channel monetized. Okay, there shouldn't be any adverts on there either. But sometimes YouTube just do their own thing. Also, I do have a Facebook group called Jason Newland's Boring Group, and there's a link to that on my website as well. I can't think of anything else to say other than it's a nice day today. Kind of. Yes, all right. It's okay. Oh dear. So, what I need to do, I want to do trivia ideas. I'm going to ask ChatGPT sort of new trivia ideas. There's just so many different things, isn't there, to choose from. So I thought, it's offering me weird things like human body, animals, places, non-nostalgic, everyday objects, the history of pillows. The history of pillows. that's not going to be. I mean, that's a trivia fact on its own, though, isn't it? Language and words, odd history, laws that still exist. Yeah, should we do that one? Weird laws that still exist. Strange UK laws. I wish I could spell. All these years of using a keyboard, and I still have to look at the keyboard if I want to actually get the word spelt properly. And I'm talking about loads of years working in a call centre, constantly typing. And I still had to look at the keyboard. Well, maybe I didn't have to as much, maybe. I don't know. I just ordered some stuff that will be here. Oh, short. Well, about half hour on Uber Eats. So what I've done is I've ordered some chocolates, like for Christmas, to give away as gifts. It's mainly all I've ordered. Some potatoes. That's about it, really. So let's have a look. There's 100 strange laws that still exist in GB. Oh my goodness. Number 1, it is illegal to handle salmon suspiciously under the Salmon Act 1986. Now, you'd think that would be under the Salmon Act 1886 or something like that. 1986. Okay. I'm going to have to I'm going to put in one, see if it just explains it. Right, okay. So I don't want that, what's it doing? All I want it to do is just expand one. Nope, it's not doing it. It's why is it messing about? Oh dear. Right, it's not giving me any specific information. So, okay, I'm just going to have to copy and paste. Because that's weird. I don't understand that. Really? Oh, it's... It is still illegal to shake carpets or rugs in the street in some boroughs. Wow. Oh dear, oh dear. What it actually means. The law was created to combat salmon poaching, not to judge people's behaviour. So it's not really about how you touched the salmon. He was touching it. It was inappropriate. It wasn't not that kind of thing. He was stroking its head. He was kissing it. Nothing weird like that. Processing salmon without being able to prove legal ownership, and handling salmon in situations that suggest illegal fishing or theft. So I guess that would be walking up to someone in a pub or in the street and opening your raincoat and having salmon like inside your coat, like, do you want to buy a salmon? That would, I guess, suggest that it was illegal or stolen. I imagine that's what it is. Or a suitcase like Rodney Trotter. The law does not define what suspicious looks like. The ambiguity is intentional, allowing enforcement officers discretion. That doesn't seem to me like a very good thing when it comes to law. Like ambiguity. For me, my understanding of what the law is supposed to offer is the opposite to ambiguity. I don't know what you would call that, literalism or just facts, like straightforward. I don't know. Anyway, let's go back to the original list. Members of Parliament are not allowed to wear armour in their Houses of Parliament. I don't know why that is, but I'd love to see it, wouldn't you? So, they're not allowed to wear armour. Maybe in the past they used to wear armour. Maybe someone turned up, the Prime Minister or maybe the Chancellor of the Exchequer was doing some kind of Roman reenactment at the weekend, and there was like an emergency meetings, so everyone had to get back into Parliament, and they didn't have time to get changed. And maybe that upset everyone. People were so put off by it that they had to make a law. I don't know. It is illegal to enter Parliament carrying a sword of any kind. It seems a bit weird that they're being specific. I mean, it's illegal to go anywhere carrying a sword of any kind. You can just change enter Parliament to going into a shop, going into the post office, walking down the street, going into a pub, going into a hospital, dressing up as a lollipop lady, delivering post, working in a supermarket on a cashier, delivering groceries. I mean, literally any situation fits in with that. It is illegal. Well, it's just illegal to carry a sword of any kind. In this country, we're not even allowed to own swords, like samurai swords. Not allowed to have them. There was a recent story that I saw where a man had a samurai sword. I think he was just cleaning it, and he tripped and he fell on the sword, and it cut his face. So he goes to the hospital because it wasn't like severe, but it was obviously he needed medical attention. And they asked what happened, and he said he'd been attacked. I said, no, it's fine. I was just cleaning my sword and I fell on it, and it sliced like his cheek or something. The next thing he knows, not his face cheek, not his bum cheek, the next thing he knows, the police are arresting him. And he ended up going to prison for owning a sword. I mean, actually went to prison, got put in prison. So, I mean, I used to own a samurai sword when I was... In fact, it was the very first thing I bought when I was 15. So my first week's wages, which was £60, before I went on to the YTS, which was £27. So for the first week's wages, I got paid £60 cash, and I spent probably at least £30, maybe more, on a samurai sword. See, now I'd go to prison. Crazy, isn't it? Unless you have to fall on it to go to prison. Maybe it was just like, you don't go to prison for being dumb, do you? But it's like, how many people have got samurai swords that have just had them for years? Because they're decorative, aren't they? The one I had wasn't sharpened. I mean, it was heavy, but it wasn't sharp. It's weird. Was it samurai or was it a ninja? No, it's samurai sword. And I loved it because it was I'd always wanted one. Well, not always, When I was 5 or 6, what do you want for Christmas, little JJ? I want something. I want a train. No, wait a minute. I want a new bike. No. I want something I can behead someone with. Yeah, give me a samurai sword. No, probably not, but not always. I wasn't born with the intention of getting a sword, but I used to have one. And I didn't have any bad intentions with it. It was just exciting because I loved martial art movies and the martial arts and the idea of being a samurai or a ninja, So it was just decorative. It was just, I used to practice with it because it's quite good at strengthening your shoulders and your arms because they're quite heavy if they're, legit. So yeah, it's illegal to carry a sword anywhere. It's just such a weird thing, that is. But you definitely can't take it into Parliament. It's technically illegal to be drunk in a pub under the Licensing Act 1872. See, this is something that I've always kind of struggled with, understanding the complete ridiculousness of pubs and the laws around drinking. Because all through my life, probably a little bit less so now, but, growing up and being an adult, there were pubs everywhere. And it was encouraged. And then, you'd be in a pub and they'd serve you drinks until you became annoying. So it wasn't the fact that you were drunk, it's just that you were annoying them. And then they'd say, no more. You're drunk. But you're the reason I'm drunk. You're the one that gave me the drink. So it seems weird. You're not technically allowed to be drunk in a pub. Although, drunk people are amongst the most annoying people in the world. And I include myself in that as well. I'm annoying. I don't drink, but when I did used to drink, if I got drunk, very annoying. I'd annoy myself. I'd literally stand in the mirror. I didn't stand in the mirror, but I'd stand in front of the mirror. And I would, in the end, I just have to walk away with disgust. And then you've got the whole thing with drink driving. I saw this documentary when they were about to... It didn't ban drink and driving, which seems so ridiculous. Just ban drinking and driving. It's not against the law, but if you go over a certain level, I don't know what it is, a pint of lager or something, and they expect people to judge that for themselves. That's how dumb it is. It's just dumb. Just ban it. if you're going to drive, you don't drink. If you're going to drink, you don't drive. It's just simple as that. Clear. And they don't. It's like the amount of pubs that have got. I mean, I understand now if you've got a restaurant and stuff, but the amount of pubs that have got cars, like a car park, I mean, encouraging people to drink and drive, really, in a sense. I know some people who will have a designated driver. Some people go to the pub and they won't drink alcohol, like non-alcoholic beverages. Some people using the car park will be working behind the bar, or there'll be the staff, working there. And as I said, if they've got a restaurant, I understand a lot of people will just be going there to eat, not to drink, because the food is so tasty. But it just seems kind of weird to have a car park in a pub. Because pubs used to be local. I think, if you go back 50 years, 100 years, people didn't travel to a pub. They might travel to a tavern that had rooms, like above to sleep, like a motel or a hotel or whatever you want to call it. Because they used to have a lot of travelling places, didn't they, where you could stop and rent a room for the night and stuff like that and have something to eat. A nice broth of some kind. Usually in the movies they're kind of situated just below a really large hill with a vampire castle on the top. And all the locals are like, don't go there, don't go there. And there'd be a person serving the beer with a huge bosom for some reason. Never understood that. I'm not complaining. Just those movies always seem to have the same. Why would you wear a corset? You're going to work for 8 hours a day. Those corsets, I tried one on once. They're not suited for a body. They're really not. If you wear them for too long, they can distort your actual body, can't they? Like the ribs and stuff. So, no, corsets are not. I don't wear them anymore. I'm not like a regular corset wearer. There's nothing wrong with wearing corsets if that's what you like. What if corsets are banned in... I'll tell you what's weird, though. In Parliament, right? You're not allowed to wear armour. You're not allowed to carry a sword. So there are these laws, but it doesn't stop them taking cocaine in there. What? Yeah, every time they swab, every now and then, every 6 months, every year or so, cocaine's found in Parliament's toilet. Like, I don't know how many times I've seen that story. And then they just disappear it. It's like, no one follows it up. Search everyone. I think what they should do is give a test. Test every member of Parliament. They're getting paid enough to be tested. So if they have alcohol in the system or drugs, then they get suspended because their job is so important. Maybe. Well, definitely. Because, anyone that's taken sort of, the harder substances, it doesn't stay in the system for like a long time, but it does stay in a hair. So if you cut someone's hair, it stays there for months, apparently. So I find that interesting. I used to, at a nightclub where I used to go to, my friend, because he knew people were using this, because there was this board above the toilet where people would use it they'd use it as a place to inhale their substances. So what he did is he didn't tell anyone who was doing it. He covered the whole thing with a small layer of Vaseline. And you couldn't even tell by looking at it that he'd done that. And every now and then we'd hear someone yelling, like, ah, because basically it ruined what they were trying to do. So my friend was very clever. He knew when people were trying to take money from him, because he owned the place. He was the boss, and it was a nightclub. It was a comedy club. There was a nightclub upstairs. The comedy club turned into a nightclub at 11 or 12. Oh, well, I just had a little break then, because my delivery came. It was early, in fact. The bloke was lovely. He, because normally what I have, well, this is what I normally have to do. I don't have to, but when I open the door, the living room door, Vinny runs straight out, so it's hard for me to keep him in the living room door. So I can't keep him in the door, to keep him inside the room. And then he runs right at the front door and he's like, rah, 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 really loud. Which is normal. If someone at the front door, it's normal for a dog to bark, isn't it? So I don't really have a go at it. I don't like moan at him or anything. But I do shuffle him into the bedroom, and he's so used to it, he just goes in. Doesn't argue, usually. Sometimes he'll swear at me, but we mumble. You know, I'm my real dad. And then I'll close the bedroom door, and then I'll answer the front door. It's just Vinny has a tendency, well, he will always run out. Generally just to say hello to the person. But if he sees another front door open, he will run to go into that door. Which is not ideal, considering we've got 2 new people living here, that one of which has got about 16 cats. So if he runs downstairs and runs into a flat full of cats, it would, I don't know how he would be. And it's not something I want to test. So generally, I keep him indoors. I take him out on a lead. Even when I take him into the garden, he's on a lead the whole time. Because, if someone opens the front door, he might just run, which he has done in the past, if he's off the lead. He's just not very trustworthy, to be fair. And it's just, he gets so excited. He sees something and he forgets I'm even there. He just he focuses it in, with blinkers on, I guess, on a specific person or another dog that maybe is his friend. Or it could be anything, really. And he just goes towards it. It's almost like he doesn't want to take me with him. So I keep him in the bedroom. But this delivery man, he was really like talking about dogs, and he's got his own dogs and cat and stuff. And he was saying how much he loved dogs. So I said, do you want to meet him? So I got Vinny out, and Vinny was loving it, all the attention. He absolutely loves humans, generally. There's a couple that he keeps his distance from, so I don't really know what that's about. But he loves humans, generally. So, above other dogs. And it was quite nice for him to be able to say hello, because a lot of the Uber drivers don't seem to like dogs. I mean, maybe because they're delivering, they've had experiences that weren't nice, which is fair enough. I can't judge them on that. But when I meet one that really likes dogs, or if I get to, because I get Uber deliveries regularly, not takeaways necessarily, but like groceries and stuff, I guess I kind of get to know some of the drivers, and there's a couple that like him, but a lot of them don't. They just don't want a dog near them. So when I do meet one that wants to say hello to him, I quite like it. So that's it. I put the stuff in the kitchen, giving him a treat because he's got his treat. He loves them treats. They're like nearly £4 each for a pack, and every time I get a delivery, I get a pack for him. So it's costing me like £8-10 a week, probably. I'm just on those treats. £12 sometimes. 3, 6, 8. Depends how many deliveries I get. So I don't always just get big deliveries. I get like the basics sometimes. If I 30 quid's worth or whatever, which is just enough to last for a few days. Where was I on this? It is illegal, and rightly so actually for this one, it is illegal to ring doorbells and run away if it causes disturbance. And this was a Town Police Clauses Act 1847. I'm questioning this just because doorbells weren't even around in 1847, were they? I mean, electricity didn't even exist, did it, back then? It did, didn't it? But I suppose they just mean I suppose in the past, you pull a string, wouldn't you, and it'd be like a bell. So I guess that's a doorbell, isn't it? But the electric doorbells, they weren't around, were they, in 1847? Why would you ring a doorbell and then run away? I mean, unless you're under the age of like 7, so some people it's funny, isn't it? I don't know, but yeah, it's good. I'm glad it's illegal. I'm trying to think if I ever did that as a kid. Loads of times as an adult, but not as a kid. No, I don't think I've ever done it. I think I might have done it as a joke to someone that I was visiting. You know what I mean? Like, rung a doorbell and then said, "Where are you? I'm outside your house." Like a call up to their window. "Look, it's me, I'm here." And they come down. I'm not there. Then they go back upstairs and I ring the doorbell again. And they look down at the window like, "I'm here." Trying to get them to believe that I'm invisible, but never seemed to work. Number 6, it is illegal to beat or shake a carpet in the street before 8 a.m. Good. I think anything that causes noise, any kind of noise, should be illegal before 6 a.m. No, before 10 a.m. Getting the wrong way round. Before 10 a.m. No noise before 10. Or before 12. In the morning, no noise before midnight. And all noise has to end by 2. So only 2 hours of noise. Or should we give 5 hours? 5 hours of noise. So between, 6 hours, between 11 and 4. I'm making my own laws here. Like, these are my new laws. between 11 a.m. and 4 p.m. power tools can be used, but never after that time. That's it, done. Outside of, I guess, a building site, if it's not near a residential area. Oh, I remember years ago, this was 2005, I moved into a Buddhist community, specifically, partly, for quiet. I'd visited there before. It was on a main road, but it was quiet inside the house, and it was quiet behind the house, and that's what I was looking for. So a bit of peace and quiet. It was opposite a park and like countryside. I mean, everything in the UK is around countryside, pretty much. People say, "Oh, live in the country." Well, we all do. Even if you live in a city, you still live in the country, because you're never far away from the countryside. We literally, even the motorways have been built through the countryside. You're never far away. So, I don't know what my point is there. What's my point? It seems a long way, if you're walking and that, but once you're in a car, you're never far from trees. It's illegal. Oh yeah. So I moved into this place, and it was quiet. I got I suppose you get used to the traffic, but generally, outside of the hum of the traffic, that was it. So I move in, and I was probably there for 2 weeks. And I think it's a Saturday, and I'm woken up by the house shaking. And I was like, oh, that's not good. It's never a good sign, is it, if the house is shaking, generally. And I thought, ooh, what's going on there? And there would be a gap where there was no noise, and then bang, another shake. So I realised it was a big, massive bang, like, ooh, like really, like, ooh. And I thought, oh, maybe one of the other lads has got a new girlfriend, or I don't know, what was going on. And I noticed there was also shouting outside the window, and there was other sounds, and I thought, what's going on here? And I thought, maybe I'll look out the window, but I couldn't be bothered. So I just still was thinking, oh, I wonder. I was sitting on the edge of the bed, and then I moved to the desk, and I'm still thinking, I wonder what it is. And after about an hour or so, because it was still going on, I thought, I suppose I could just walk to the window and look. I mean, technically that is what windows are for, isn't it? To look out of. Otherwise they wouldn't be see-through. So if you're ever in your living room or in your kitchen, and you see someone just standing there staring through your window, and you think you're going to go out and say, what are you doing staring? Like, they're doing what windows are supposed to be there for, to look through. Honestly, someone can never have a go at you for looking through a window. They're literally designed for that purpose. And it's not just, well, no, it's for me to look out of, not for you to look in. Or have it so it's one-sided then. Have a one-sided window. So you can see out of it, but I can't see the other side. Oh, I shouldn't have to do that. Yeah, but we shouldn't. We shouldn't have to do a lot of things, should we? But, you know, there's a big difference between what should be and what is. Reality and how things should be. It's a different category. It's a different planet almost. Can you just stop looking through my window? Okay. I do sometimes think that when I'm out with Vinny and he's just sniffing a bush, I'm just standing there, and sometimes I'm looking at him, then I look up and there's just a family sitting in a window, maybe eating a dinner or watching TV, and it does look like I'm just standing there. I mean, literally I am just standing there, but because Vinny's so tiny and he's behind the bush, they can't see that, so all they can just see is me just standing looking at them. Now, if you're ever in this situation and you want to make it look less weird, put down the binoculars, generally. But it's like, and then he does a poo on the garden. If he can, he'll wait until he can find a window that's full of people, literally, ideally standing up talking or looking out of the window, and he'll do a big poo, and I have to pick it up while all these people are just maybe at a dinner table eating their Sunday dinner, looking at me, picking up this nice little treasure that Vinny's given me. His bum is the gift that keeps on giving. So yeah, it's what's that got to do with car? Oh yeah, so I look outside. The land next to our house was being built on. They were building two bungalows. So the person that owned the place was building a bungalow for himself and building a bungalow to rent out or to sell. And I had no idea this was going to be going on. Had I known, I would not have moved in, because houses are not built quickly. And this seemed to be almost like it was a part-time thing as well. So that went on for months and months and months, like a whole summer. But the thing that was really shaking the house was something I'd never seen before. I think it's called pile driving. And this big thing was basically banging into the earth, like it was trying to reach the earth's core or something, and it kept just like going up and banging, and I didn't know if they're drilling for oil. What the heck are they doing? So yeah, that wasn't great. So I definitely would change the laws, it's hard to, because I've got neighbours, or I've had neighbours in the past, not necessarily generally in the house I live, but like in a different house, because I've lived with shared accommodation most of the time, so there wouldn't be a lot of building work being done in that house. But the amount of times I've heard people, or even now when I'm out with Vinny, hear people on a Sunday morning with their power tools, or quite late at night, almost oblivious to other people existing. It's kind of like they forget that other people have ears. And I don't know, maybe there's a degree of satisfaction of using a power tool having something that powerful in your hand. I don't know. It's been a while since I had anything powerful in my hand. And I used to have I had a drill. A drill was a screwdriver. One of them. A drill. Maybe and a drill. I lent it to a neighbour and she didn't give it back. But anyway, I agree with that illegal. It's illegal to shake a mat, rug or carpet in a street, except a doormat. Right. It's illegal to beat or shake a carpet in the street before 8 a.m, but it's illegal to shake a mat, rug or carpet in the street except a doormat. So make your mind up. How can it be that kind of is... It's just saying it's illegal to shake a mat, rug or carpet, and then but above that it's saying it's okay after 8 a.m. So make your mind up. A doormat. A doormat's noisy as well, though, isn't it? That's like a rug, really, isn't it? Just maybe a smaller rug. What do people do is... some people put it onto the washing line, don't they, and just hit it with something like a tennis racket. Yeah, I've never done that, I don't think. Not really my thing. It is illegal to fly a kite in a public place if it causes annoyance. I mean, really, I'd change that as well. I'd go, it is illegal to do anything in a public place if it causes annoyance. Not just fly a kite, anything. Anything that is causing public annoyance should be illegal. I don't know how it would be enforced because everyone's got their own specific personal idea of what is annoying, don't they? It is illegal to obstruct the highway by playing games in the road. Wow. You think there wouldn't need to be a law for that, would you? I mean, but then the laws are weird, aren't they? Because if I stood in a road and blocked the traffic, the police would come and, well, the people would remove me, but the police would come if the public didn't do anything, and at the very least I'd get removed or I'd be arrested. If I held a placard, save the oil or whatever it is, I would not get arrested. It just, that was a bit of a unsatisfactory ending to that sentence, really. But yeah, it's just, I guess it depends. It's just in the same way as if I went into town and I walked up to a police person and started swearing at them, calling them names, they might warn me to start with, and if I continued doing it, they'd arrest me. If I did it every single day of the week, eventually they would ignore me. Because I've seen people do it. I've seen people breaking the law. First of all, you're not allowed to drink alcohol in public out of a can. You're not allowed to do that. But the police do nothing to those that cause too much problems for them. It's weird, isn't it? How the laws kind of change depending on who does it. Because they can't be bothered with people that keep reoffending, especially on something like that, because this it's not the kind of crime that you're going to end up going to prison for. yeah. I've never tested it. I've never gone up to a police human and started mouthing off because I'm scared of them. It is illegal to set off. Why would people play games in a road? But yeah, anyway, it's illegal to set off fireworks after 11 p.m. except on certain holidays. Personally, I don't think 11 p.m. is late enough or early enough. Until this year, I had never had an issue with fireworks. And I don't remember Vinny being bothered by them. But this year, he has been bothered by them. And during bonfire period, bonfire night, the fireworks seem to last for about 2 weeks. And admittedly, they weren't going off really late at night. But it didn't matter, even at 8 o'clock. He was scared, I think. And so, yeah, I know, just because I've got a dog that doesn't like fireworks, doesn't mean that people can't have fireworks, but I like the idea of just having like one night. I mean, literally, it is bonfire night, it's firework night, it's the 5th of November. Let everybody have fireworks on that day. And then we've got New Year's Eve, another time for fireworks. And that is it, really. I know sometimes some religions have fireworks and stuff. Because I had that in London. I don't know what it was, but there was like fireworks would be going off, and it was like, what festival is it now? Because there's so many different festivals. But yeah, I love fireworks, actually. I like the sound of them. I love seeing them. But Vinny doesn't, and I don't like seeing him like that. It is legal to sleep rough in some cities under old vagrancy laws, currently under review. I mean, how do you enforce something like that? If someone's homeless, they're homeless. So the solution is you give them somewhere to sleep. Then they won't be homeless. It seems like quite a easy solution. But I did have this, my friend had a friend who I met, and he was homeless. He was living in a tent. But it turned out he was doing it because he wanted to. Because even though he could go and stay in a hostel or like a night shelter, they don't allow alcohol. And he chose drinking over sleeping safely in a place. So I remember saying to him, why don't you just get into the hostel, and in the end he shouted at me, because I want to drink. I'm like, okay. I know it's his thing, so I can't judge him on that, but it's sometimes there's a choice. Ultimately, if you're going to go to sleep, that's a period of time when you don't do anything anyway, isn't it? Don't eat, don't drink, it's kind of a period of sleep time, and then you can do what you want during the day. I don't know if they do a drunk test before. It's kind of weird. It's not really fair because a lot of other people, I've got other substances in them, but it's quite hard to fit without being rude, it's hard to fit a 6-pack of 4-pack of lagers up your bum, or a bottle of vodka. It's just hard. It's hard to sort of sneak them into the place, if you know what I mean. I've not tried. It's illegal to sell alcohol to a drunk person. Again, that just seems... It seems sensible, but at the same time ridiculous. Because if you're a pub and you've been serving someone alcohol, you're the reason they're drunk. I mean, they're the reason because they've drunk the alcohol, but it's just... there needs to be some responsibility from both sides, I would say. No, and how do you know? Where do you... where's the line? It's illegal to sing obscene songs in public. Well, in that case, they'd have to close down every single football match, wouldn't they, in the country? There's loads of obscene songs sung at football matches, and I'm guessing a place where there's maybe 20,000 people all congregated would be classed as a public space. I'm guessing. Ew. It's illegal to allow a drunk person to consume alcohol on licensed premises. That's just another way of saying it's illegal to sell alcohol to a drunk person, isn't it? Because no pub's going to allow you to walk in there and go to the off license and come back in drinking a drink that you got elsewhere. Anyway, regardless if you're drunk or not, it is illegal to cause a public nuisance by noise at night. I'll just leave that last bit out. It is illegal to cause a public nuisance by noise. Full stop. But then, every time a football match ends, you're going to hear people, especially maybe the winners, singing. That's a public noise as they walk towards the train station or towards the local pub. I mean, a public noise. For me, street cleaners or leaf blowers, that's a public noise. And I know I've mentioned this before. Why do they blow? Suck. It seems ridiculous just blowing something around and then having to bend over and shovel them into a bag. Suck the stuff into a bag. There's got to be a way of doing it. I mean, vacuum cleaners exist. What's the difference? Like a different version, maybe a bigger version, a more adaptable version of that. And maybe they do exist, I don't know. Maybe the leaf blowers are preferred because it gives people more time, more work. Because something that would only take maybe 15 minutes can last a couple of hours. Because you just keep blowing something away, especially if it's windy, you can make it last all day. If you're just sucking the whole time, pretty much it'll be done a lot quicker. I just realised that was at night. So people don't usually use leaf blowers at night, do they? Whoops. And football team. And people do watch football at night, don't they? People that bib their horns. It's weird. I've got kind of double standards on this one. I don't like it when other people do it. To like say hello to someone, or you know, they park outside a door and they like beep 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 beep. The impatience. I'm not a big fan of that. However, when I'm waiting for someone and I'm picking them up in the car and they just take ages and I'm bibbing the horn and they won't come, I'm like, just come on. I keep bibbing the horn and they're just taking their time. That's annoying as well. No, I realise I've got double standards because somebody bibbed their horn at me the other day and I didn't realise it was at me. So initially I'm like, oh, what are you doing bibbing your horn? And then they're waving at me. I'm like, oh, that's nice. They bibbed their horn at me. Someone loves me. And I realised that it's kind of a little bit, what's the right word? Idiotic of me, possibly. Judgmental. I don't know why Vinny's hassling me. Oh, I know why, because he wants another thing. When we've done this, you'll get another one, okay, Vinny? Good girl. It is illegal to carry planks of wood along the pavement in some councils without permission. I don't know what to comment on that one. It's illegal to carry planks of wood. I mean, if you've got a plank of wood and you need to get it to another place, and you've only got one plank of wood. But then it depends how long the plank of wood is, doesn't it? Because it is potentially a dangerous thing to be carrying around. Because you can't see behind yourself and in front of yourself. And if it's a long plank of wood, you can't see one side of yourself. You know, if the plank of wood is on your right shoulder, you can't see to the right of you. So I guess it's quite dangerous. It depends how long the plank of wood is, I guess. It's illegal to gamble in public places unless authorised. Well, nobody listens to that, do they? You know, people, they're going to do what they want. But generally, I mean, what do you class as gambling? I mean, even playing chess can be gambling, can't it? If you're playing for money. Because you're kind of gambling on yourself to win. Although I'd gamble on the other person to win because I don't even know how to play chess. I used to think that I'd be quite good at chess because I kind of have a tendency to be able to see steps ahead or possibilities. But I don't know. I did have a chess set, like a electronic one, 2004. And I decided I wanted to be a chess master and I wanted to be the greatest chess player ever in the whole world. And I remember one day I'd had it for about 2 weeks and I was sitting there. I thought, I want to be the best in the world. And then I thought, oh, EastEnders is on. So I watched that instead, and I'm not sure if I don't know what happened to that chess game. It's illegal to bet on credit at betting shops. That makes sense, because if you've got no money, you can't. How can you? You need to have money to bet, don't you? I'm not a bettor or a gambler. Probably the most gamble I would do would every few years I buy a lottery ticket, or I might get a scratch card, like literally every few years. But gamble, I don't even know how to gamble. So in public places, I think a lot of that from the legal perspective is just because the country or the government wants tax, don't they? They want money from it, because there's a lot of money to be made from gamblers, from a tax perspective, I think. I'm not 100% sure. It is illegal to bet on credit at betting shops. It just said, I've already read that out, sorry. It's illegal to disturb a church service. In that case, is a wedding a church service if it's in a church? And when the vicar or the priest or whoever the person in charge says, does anybody have a reason why these two monkeys shouldn't get married and run back into the forest and live with Tarzan? Whatever, I don't know. Is there any reason why? I mean, they're inviting a disturbance, aren't they? It's true though, isn't it? They're inviting a disturbance. So if a tiger says, yeah, I love cheetah, and then cheetah's wife is saying, have you been cheating on me? There's a pun there. It's illegal to impersonate a police officer. But what about apparently Valentine's Day seems to be a time when people dress up. Don't really know why that is. But stag nights, hen nights, sometimes just parties. There's, like dress-up parties, and people come as police officers. Are they breaking the law? I mean, technically, unless you do something police-like, I don't know, throw your weight around, talk down to someone, I don't know, sort of like if you're trying to arrest somebody or tell someone what to do, then I suppose you're not really breaking a law, are you? Especially if it's obvious you're not a policeman or woman. Oh, there's this scene in Only Fools and Horses where Del Boy, he thinks he's getting a stripper for his birthday or for his hen night, his stag night, and so this two policewomen walk in to arrest him, and he thinks that they're the strippers, and he starts, he gets arrested, put it this way. It's illegal to sell pet animals to children under 16 without an adult supervision. I guess that makes sense. Unless the 16-year-old is living on their own, because I was 15 when I was pretty much working full time. Does that include goldfish? Yeah, I want to report a crime. What is it? Well, the next door neighbour sold my son a caterpillar. How much did he charge? £1.50. I think there would be silence, wouldn't there, if that happened. It is illegal to use threatening or abusive language likely to cause harassment. Good. So it should be. It's illegal to let animals stray onto public roads. Again. Okay. So that means every cat owner that allows their cat to go outside needs to be arrested. Is that what we're saying? Is that what we're saying? Because every cat strays onto public roads. I don't know why they do it. I wish they wouldn't do it, because it makes me feel ill seeing it, because I love animals, so I don't want to see anyone get hurt. But even dogs, I mean, a dog, if it ain't on a lead, if it sees something the other side of the road, unless it's like super well trained, there's a good chance it's going to run across the road. You know, so in Vinny, at any opportunity, he runs into the road. It makes you wonder sometimes if he actually enjoys living with me. But he's on a lead, so I keep track of him. And I have to stop him. I can't, you know, when we're near a road, I have to keep him on a short lead, because he will try and like cross the road or just randomly pull me. It is illegal to damage or deface a public monument. I mean, I would just change that again. I'd just take away the public monument and change it to anything. Just anything, whether it's in front of someone's house, whether it's a letterbox, whatever. Just damaging or defacing something, just stop it. Stop being naughty. It is illegal to to tamper with post boxes. Yep, and rightly so. I'm not disagreeing with any of these laws, really. Some of them I'm kind of querying, but it's illegal to open someone else's mail intentionally. I mean, I did open someone's mail intentionally. But that was like, I'd lived here for 9 years, and I got a letter from one of the previous tenants to this address. And I'm like, why am I still getting mail after 8.5 years or whatever it was? So I thought, I'm going to open it. And it was a doctor's letter, recent, like from a recent visit. It's almost like she hadn't even changed her address with her doctor's surgery. So I just did a thing, put it back in there, put some sellotape over it, not at this address, and put it back in the letterbox. But it's like, normally I just put it back in the letterbox, not at this address, go away. But I got a neighbour who moved in. That was loud, wasn't it? Got a neighbour who moved in to this flat, and she accidentally opened the previous tenant's mail, because she'd been living there for a year, I think, at that point. And it's just natural, if you share a house or share a property with someone, you might look at who's it for. But I live here on my own, so anything that comes through that letterbox is for me. I'm opening whatever comes through that letterbox, unless I happen to see that it's for someone else. If it's for a different, I will go and give it to the person, and if I have opened it, I'll apologise and say I didn't look first. but I just don't assume that it's going to be for someone else. Occasionally, stuff's come through, and I do like to look at the envelope just to guess who it's from or what it is, because generally I get junk mail. I don't even get bank statements anymore. I just get junk mail. The only things from the bank I get... Do I get bank statements? I think the only thing from a bank I get now is just the charges when I don't have enough money to pay the bills. I don't get any bills by paper. So it's very, very small amount of stuff. I don't get hardly any. Anyway, the neighbour, she opened the previous tenant's letter by accident, and she realised, ooh. However, if she hadn't have opened it, she wouldn't have seen that she was due to have a new kitchen put in. So she called up the council and said, I just accidentally opened up the previous tenant's letter, and I've been here for a year, and it's saying something about having a new kitchen. Am I able to get back to you to tell you when is a good time to have it done? And they said, oh, that's good. We've been trying to get hold of that tenant for 3 years, and they just haven't replied to us. They didn't even... It's like they weren't aware that the tenant had gone, and they had been kicked out. So I guess one department doesn't talk to another department sort of scenario. So she ended up getting a new kitchen that she wouldn't have gotten because they weren't able to get hold of her. Occasionally, I still get a letter from the council to the previous tenant telling me, here's the receipt for us checking your gas meter pump thing, whatever, the boiler. Like, I've been here for 39 years. Can't you remember my name? It is illegal to set traps for animals without proper authorization. I mean, I would just put it's illegal to set traps for animals, full stop, but it is illegal to hunt certain protected species. I'm not really big in hunting, so I'll move on from that. I know it's different, so in some parts of the world, and I've seen it, and someone will post a picture of them they were hunting game, and maybe they'll have a big animal, and they're kind of with their gun, and they're smiling next to this animal, and posing a picture, and then they post it on Facebook, and their friends will be saying, well done, can't wait till next summer so I can hunt some animals and that I could never take on if it wasn't for having a gun, and all these stuff. Now, that's okay in some countries. In this country, that isn't okay. Even though it's not illegal, I could go to Africa, South Africa, to different countries, perhaps America, different places, and I could go hunting. However, if I posted that picture on my Facebook page, there could be serious consequences. And you might think, why? But why? Especially if it's like a tiger or a lion, because things like that, even though they're bred for that reason, that's why they're bred specifically for hunters. But there was this dentist, I think it was, years ago, who went to, I think, South Africa or Kenya or somewhere to you go on a hunting exhibition, and they posted a picture on Facebook, and they became the most viled person in the country. Their picture was all over the national press, on the news, and I think they lost their business, everything, because they posted that picture, even though they had not broken a law. They hadn't, it's, everyone's got their own thing, haven't they? What's acceptable and what's not. Different countries, I guess, and if I posted a picture of me sitting on top of a bear, unless it's a cuddly teddy bear, then I better not be sitting on it, because if it's still alive, I'm in trouble, and if it isn't, I'm in more trouble, which is different trouble, if I post a picture online because of living in this country. See, it's very, you might not have known that. It's true stuff. So even things don't have to be illegal to be classed as if they are illegal. I mean, there's certain things like you don't date your best friend's ex. That's just a standard thing. You just don't do it. Some people do it, and some people have done it, got married, had kids, and have had an amazing life. So I'm not here judging, I'm just saying those are the rules. It's not the law, but it's the rules. There's a lot of rules which you probably got where you live. I mean, we think about it, 2 men got put in prison for 3.5 years for cutting down a tree in this country recently. They cut down a tree. And, oh no, but it was a special tree. Well, that was a weird voice. It was a special tree. It was magical. But all trees are kind of lovely, aren't they? But it was there for hundreds of years. A lot of trees are there for hundreds of years. But it was a special tree. People take photographs of it. People travel to see. If you're going to travel to see a tree, then, I don't know, maybe get a hobby. I don't know if I'd travel too far to see a particular tree. I mean, I love forests and I love trees. I think they're lovely, and they're here longer than we are. Hopefully, just like if they're left alone, and they're more part of the earth with the roots. They're we're kind of on the earth. They're in the earth. They're part of it, and they provide oxygen. And without them, we wouldn't exist. If all the trees disappeared. But it was one tree. And how many thousands of trees got chopped down around the country on that day? How many people in their gardens cut down a tree because it was in the way of their greenhouse? I mean, over the fence, I had someone cut down a tree because it was stopping the sun from getting into their garden. And it was a council tree that had probably been there for 50 years. And they did it bit by bit. They just started getting as high up as they could in the ladder and just chopping down little bits. It was like the longest, worst haircut you'll ever see in slow motion or whatever that is. You just see a little bit at a time. And in the end, it just ended up being a mess, and the council came round and they chopped it down. It was a perfectly good tree. It wasn't quite as big as the building because it just wasn't one of those trees that grow that high. But they mangled it because it was in the way of the sun. And then the council came and tidied it up because the other people were moaning because it was all mangled and branches were falling off of it. They didn't go to prison. The council who chopped down a tree didn't go to prison. Didn't even get in trouble. Leave the tree alone. So yeah, weird some of these laws. I mean, they was all. You know what? The way they were talking about these two blokes and a tree being cut down, I really thought it was the amount of press attention it was getting was at the same level as a terrorist attack. Honestly, it was huge news. Couldn't stop talking about it. The news, 24 hours a day, talking about that tree. We've got to find the people responsible. It was like one of those things, if you see them, we've got to find the people. If you see them, here's a picture of them, we've got them on camera. If you see them, it's okay to approach them because they just cut down a tree. They're not dangerous. Unless they've got a chainsaw. I mean, I think they used like I don't even know what they used to do it. Like one of those Swiss Army knives or something. Just plant a new tree. Get in trouble for it. I'm not saying like it doesn't matter. Just, yeah, naughty. Naughty, naughty, naughty. Put them on the naughty step. Give them some community service, maybe. I don't know. But, give them the same sentence that you would get for doing something really serious. Like, you know? It just seems weird. It's illegal to sell counterfeit goods. Still happens though. Happens a lot. If you're ever a tourist in this country, well, from other countries, I mean, be careful of these street sellers, especially the ones on the bridges in London, because if you buy anything off a market, don't expect it to be real. I mean, it might be a t-shirt. It's still going to be a real t-shirt, but it might not be Gautier, especially if it's spelled Gautyer. You know, it's just, don't spend a lot of money on that stuff. And if you're going to buy perfume, be careful, because obviously perfume you don't want it to irritate your skin. And I'm not saying it is, but it might be goat pee. Just letting you know. Which probably smells as nice as some of the perfume. It's illegal to sell food unfit for human consumption. Yeah, good. Good. It's illegal to drive without a license or insurance. So why is, okay, it's illegal to sell food unfit for human consumption, but there is some food that I think is really unfit for human consumption. I mean, technically, all chocolate, it's not fit. It's not good for us, is it? If it's not good for our bodies, then it shouldn't be allowed if they're going to go down that road, I think. Not allowed. It's illegal to drive without a license or insurance. True. It is illegal to park on double yellow lines unless exempt. It's illegal to block access to emergency vehicles and to fail to control dangerous dogs. Perhaps it should be illegal to possess a dangerous dog. I don't know. I mean, if a dog is dangerous, then there's some people around here that their dog is kind of being aggressive towards another dog or a person to the point of, biting or something like that. And they still walk the dog around like nothing happened. Or some people, their dog is clearly dangerous, but they're warning people. I'll just be, he's, or maybe the dog is just obviously trying to get to you. Well, why don't they just have a mask on them, like a muzzle? You stick a muzzle on a dog, it can't do anything. Oh, but he doesn't like muzzles. Doesn't like it. Doesn't like wearing a muzzle. So, I'm sure he'd prefer that than the alternative. No, he doesn't like muzzles. He doesn't. It upsets him. Does he want to go out or not? That's like, maybe have muzzles for all dogs when they're outside. I don't care, I'd put one on Vinny. The fact that you don't like it would make it more fun. Oh dear. He's asleep now. He's waiting, he's listening. He's waiting for another treat. Yeah. Bless him. It is illegal to own certain breeds of dog without exemption. That's true. It's illegal to set fire to property intentionally. Why have they included this? It is illegal. Why would of course it is. I thought I was asking for like silly, strange UK laws that still exist. How is that a strange law? I tell you, really strange. Like, you're ever going to be in a public situation with people and they're talking about strange laws? One of the old ones, and I don't even know if it's true or not, is if you need to do a poo, a police person has to allow you to do it inside their helmet or something, or they have to cover you up while you do it on the floor. I remember a friend used to go on about that, and I think that's just probably not true. But that just seems like a weird thing. It's illegal to set fire to a property intentionally. That's not a strange law. You're not going to say that. Well, you know what? You think that one with the policeman's weird. Do you know what else is against the law? And it's like, I can't believe it's illegal. You're not going to believe. Honestly, get ready for this one. You're not even allowed to set fire to a building on purpose. You can't set fire to things. What? No, it's true. It's true. No, really? Yeah. Well, there goes my weekend then. I was looking forward to that. I was going to set fire to next door's house. They'd gone away. I thought it'd be nice. It'd be, When they come back, they say, why did you do that? I said, well, I thought it'd make a change. You said that you're bored. You needed to do something different. Is it illegal to carry offensive weapons in public? Yep. It's illegal to carry knives without lawful reasons. It's illegal to carry an item made or adapted to cause injury. It's illegal to throw objects onto roads or railways. I mean, why would you need a law for that? If you're chucking something on a road or a railway, you'd have to something very seriously wrong with your brain to do something like that. It just, yeah, absolutely, like you know what I mean? It's yeah. I mean, I think someone that does something like that, you know, there's an old term saying, "Oh, they need their brain testing." I think we need to be literal in that situation. I'm not saying experiment on them. I kind of am, but they definitely need to be observed and to have lots of brain scans and to see what would cause that kind of behaviour in order to maybe prevent it in the future. It is illegal to climb on war memorials. People do that. It's illegal to damage ancient monuments. Well, that's done all around the world, isn't it? It's illegal to remove fossils from protected sites. Would that be museums probably? It's illegal to take plants from public land without permission. I've never ever seen a plant I wanted to take home. I just haven't. I've never thought, you know what I need to do? On the way home today, I'm going to get that plant. I've been looking at that for years. I'm having that. No, never. It's illegal to disturb nesting birds. I didn't know that, but good. It's illegal to release balloons near airports. Oh my God, really? Again, that's got to be the list of chucking stuff off bridges and onto motorways and onto railway tracks. If someone releases balloons near an airport with planes taken off, there's got to be something, you know. It's illegal to use a mobile phone while driving. Yep. Relatively new law, actually. There was a time when it was frowned upon. But now it's... Because there was a time when the only thing you could do really was just talk on it. So they removed that, like you could use it on hands-free, which is also a distraction. Having people in your car is a huge distraction, but there's no laws to say that the person sitting next to you has to shut up, or that the people in the back seat have to be quiet, not argue. So there's no laws for that, but that is a huge distraction. But and I'd say that probably causes more problems than anything else. But a mobile phone, because now they don't, they got so much because of the texting and people. I mean, I actually saw a lorry driver a couple of years back driving fairly fast, went right past me on a road that leads to a motorway, and he was watching a movie. It looked like he probably had an iPad or something. He was literally watching a movie. And he wouldn't have seen me if, it's like, wow. It's got to be some kind of... The thing, I suppose, if you're inside a lorry or a car and you make it as comfortable as possible, it's like a part of you is going to forget that you're inside a car or a lorry. If you've got all the comforts, like a screen to watch stuff on, because you've got a sat nav, that's a distraction. Not allowed to look at a phone, but allowed to look at a sat nav. You see what I mean? It's like, can you have a hands-free phone and look at texts? You're not allowed to use a phone. So what if you've got the phone that you're using the phone as a sat-nav and it's hands-free? You're not allowed to use a phone. So yeah, It's illegal to fail, and also having a coffee machine. It's illegal to fail to wear a seatbelt unless exempt. Is that for the back as well? Because I grew up in a time when pretty much no one wore seatbelts in the 70s. It wasn't the law, and they brought the law in, and then people started wearing them. They did tests and realised that seatbelts were kind of important. But yeah, it was just like natural just to sit there without any seatbelts on. It's weird. And the same with drink driving. People could drink as much as they wanted and drive, providing they didn't cause an accident. They wouldn't get in trouble. This is, I don't know if this was the early 70s, maybe the 60s, but I think during my lifetime, people were able to drink and drive any amount. There was no legal thing for it. And then it came in probably mid-70s, maybe late 70s. I'm guessing the dates. I did see a documentary on it, and they showed these people. They said, okay, we're going to get you to do this little circuit, very basic, in a normal car. And they got a group of people together, and they gave them drinks. And they kept going to a pub and then coming back out, and they had this little circuit in the pub car park. And they had just people like a pensioner. They had a 23-year-old person, student, someone that worked down the mines. They even had a professional. They had a professional driving, like a race driver, and they had a driving instructor. I'm making that bit up possibly, but it sounds good for the sake of the story. And they got them all to do this like little course before they start drinking, and everyone did it easy. A few traffic cones, just in and out and reverse. It was simple. And as the day progressed, after having a pint, 2 pints, they did it again. And the novices, the ones that, the young person maybe that hadn't been driving so long, and maybe the pensioner, struggled a little bit after 2 or 3 pints. After, I don't know how many, even at the end of the test, even the driving instructor and the racing car driver couldn't do it. They were driving all over the place. In fact, I think the driving instructor pretty much ran over all the cones. And then when they finished, when he parked, I don't know if he didn't drive into the pub, but when he parked, and the interviewer, because he had the person with him filming it, and he turned to the person and said, "Well done, you've passed." So it was kind of weird. It's illegal to drive without headlights at night. Good. Mind you, I'm not a big fan of the old fog lights, the ones that are really, really, really bright. They're dangerous. Brilliant when it's foggy, obviously. And I'm guessing if you're in a pitch black, there's certain lights you need in order to see further into the future, whatever. But the ones that are really bright, and apparently I think some cars, you can't help it, they're just on. Some lights are on during the day as well. It's illegal to advertise without planning permission in some areas. It's illegal to erect structures without approval. Yeah, standard, isn't it? Building thing. It's illegal to trade without a license. It's illegal to fail to pay TV license fee, even if watching or streaming live TV. See, this is a weird thing. You might not know about this if you're not in the UK. We have a thing called a TV license. And basically, it's a tax. It's something that you have to pay if you own a TV set. And if you can't prove that you're not using the TV set to stream or watch live TV, then you have to pay the TV license. And it's quite a hard thing to prove because generally, you know, I've got a TV set. I could quite easily not watch any live TV at all. And just watch Netflix, just, you know, watch YouTube, stuff like that. The thing is, Netflix does give you the ability to do some live streaming. YouTube, you can stream live, but it's none of it's BBC stuff. But once you've got one of those like Apple players or Roku or whatever, they've all got, you can gain access to live streaming, and they know that. And the fact that you can gain access to it means you need to pay a license. It's very hard to kind of get out of it. Some people manage to do it, but I think there's like £1,000 fine, or up to £1,000 fine if you get caught without a TV license. And it's the weird thing about it is the BBC, and the BBC has 2 channels or whatever, BBC One, BBC Two, BBC Four, maybe, I don't know, but a couple of channels, and that's it. And all the other Freeview channels are ITV, Channel 4, UK Gold, all like loads of different other stuff. So even if you didn't watch any BBC stuff at all, you still have to pay a TV license if you watch Channel 4 or ITV. It's true. It's weird, isn't it? Never made sense, and it still doesn't. It's illegal to sell alcohol without a license. It is illegal to drink alcohol in designated alcohol-free zones. Fair enough. I mean, it does kind of make sense, doesn't it? It's illegal to spit in certain public places. I don't know where. Sometimes you kind of have to, don't you? You know, without getting into details, it's like sometimes it just needs to kind of be removed. It's illegal to drop litter. Yep. It's illegal to fail to clean up after a dog. It's illegal to fail to clean up the fowl. It's illegal to I think we should DNA all dogs, and then every time a bit of poo's on the ground, they can DNA test it, and they can find out who the owner of the dog is and fine them £1,000. La na 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 na. Give that money to the NHS, and I think we would fund the NHS probably for the next 6 months just from that money. Seriously, the amount of people that just they might stop doing it though after that. It's illegal to feed certain wild animals in protected areas. Hard to enforce though. It's illegal to tamper with railway signals. Wow. Why would someone want to? I mean, that, oh man, can't even imagine that. It's illegal to walk on railway tracks. Yeah. It's illegal to trespass on military land. I mean, both those things, it's illegal, but seriously dangerous. Seriously dangerous. You trespass on military land, it's probably more dangerous than walking on railway tracks. Just don't do it. It's illegal to photograph certain military installations. Makes sense, really, doesn't it? It's illegal to refuse to provide name and address when lawfully required. But when is it lawfully required? That's the question. Because it seems, from what I've seen on some of these auditing channels on YouTube, that even the police don't seem to know when it's lawfully required. So I don't know. I just tell if the police wants to know where I live, I tell them. Here's my wallet. There's my debit card. There's my bus pass. I don't care. It's like the idea of you being in town and being asked, "What's your name?" I'm not telling you my name. Me, and making such a big deal about it that they start to think that you're up to something when all you're doing really is just being awkward. But at the same time, you should be able to walk down the street without having the police stopping you and asking for your name. You know what I mean? It kind of works both ways, I guess. Unless you're urinating in the library doorway, it's illegal to cause alarm or distress intentionally. Yeah, good. It's illegal to block pavements. Oh, plenty of people do that, don't they? So does that mean that... I mean, how many times have... By the way, pavements are... I think they might be called sidewalks where you live. They might have a different name. It's basically that the side of the road. So you've got the road, that bit where people walk. We call it pavements. And the reason I say that is because I've got a worldwide audience. I've got at least 3 people in every country listen. People block the pavements all the time. So, what about cars? Where I live, people park on the pavements. It's illegal, right? Is the law? It's illegal to park on a pavement in London. Full stop. Maybe other cities, but definitely London. It's illegal. Like, you potentially get towed away. Serious. The rest of the country, it's unenforced. Unless it's like, I suppose, I mean, if you parked blocking a school entrance or something like that, then you get towed away. You can probably get a big fine or whatever. But generally, I live on an estate, a housing estate, and people park on the pavement, like half on the road, half on the pavement, every day. And I speak to other people that are in wheelchairs or electric wheelchairs, and they can't drive around. So they're kind of stuck on the estate because it's just a main road around it. But if they were able to get around on the paths, they could have an hour or two just riding around the estate on a lovely day. But they can't get more than 5 minutes without having a car in the way. Then they have to go into the road, and they can't see what traffic's coming. It's so yeah, it's illegal to block pavements. Make your mind up. It's illegal to dump waste illegally. It's illegal to burn waste without permission. It's illegal to light fires in prohibited countryside areas. Oh, it's illegal to sell fireworks to under 18s. I'm pretty sure when I was a kid you could buy fireworks as a kid, but I might be wrong. It is illegal to possess fireworks illegally. Mind you, when I was a kid, I used to go to the shop and buy my mum's cigarettes and alcohol. Or collect it. I don't even know if I had any money, just go and collect it. And used to light them for her. Used to light cigarettes for her. So I was about 4 at the time. It's illegal to possess fireworks illegally. It's illegal to set off fireworks at restricted times. It's illegal to sell aerosols to minors. It's illegal to cause smoke nuisance. I think it should be illegal to sell aerosols to anybody. There's those things that go, you know, like people have at football matches and stuff. Way too loud. There's no reason ever to have something like that. Ever. Apart from as a self-defense. Because that, yeah, if someone's like committing a crime or, you know, has bad intentions towards another person, having an aerosol go off is gonna, they're gonna run away. They ain't gonna stick around with that blowing, because it hurts your ears, doesn't it? Plus, they know it's gonna. You can't not garner other people's attention with an aerosol. It's illegal to allow excess vehicle noise. Good. So let's ban all motorways then, yeah? Is that what you're saying? It's illegal to drive dangerously. Yeah, good. It's illegal to sell age-restricted products to minors. That's the whole point of age-restricted products, isn't it? To sell them to only people that are restricted within that age. It's now illegal to advertise tobacco. It's illegal to... Okay, it's illegal to block fire exits. Yeah. So it should. I mean, it's amazing that people would need to be told that, really. You'd think that would be... You know what I mean? It's like, don't balance a hot frying pan on your head. It's like, obviously, you shouldn't need to be told that. Don't try and parachute out of a tree. You know, parachute's not going to open. It's not going. You're going to have time. Don't bungee jump from a bridge when the river's frozen over. You know, just things like that. It's illegal to purchase alcohol on behalf of a minor. That's a difficult one, because if you're an adult and you've got these kids that look, they're like, can be a little bit intimidating, you know? And they're like 10 of them or 12 of them all stand outside the shop. Right, mate, go and get this, can you buy this, we'll give you the money, can you get that for us? Like, no, I shan't be purchasing alcohol on behalf of a minor because it's illegal. I don't do it, but just, yeah, I definitely avoid that situation. It's illegal to damage CCTV cameras. It's illegal to steal water. Why would you need to steal water? From where? We have taps. I mean, how do you steal water? Well, that'd be a weird phone call to the police. Yeah, hi, I've had a break-in. Oh, okay. Did they take anything? Not really. What do you mean? Well, they did take some water. They took a glass of water. Right, we'll come round and we'll get some fingerprints. Like, how do you steal what? I don't know how you steal water. It's illegal to sell unsafe... I don't know why that's funny. It's not funny. But to sell unsafe toys, of course it should be illegal. It's like... it's illegal to fail food hygiene inspections. No, it's not illegal. It's unfortunate. and you could get closed down, but you have to make changes, and then they do another inspection. I think there's a point, if they do enough inspections and you don't get a good mark, you could be closed down. But it's not sort of, I think it's one of those grey areas where you just have to make changes to make yourself better, have better hygiene. I remember there was a kebab place locally, and my friend used to love that place. Always order from there, and I'd order from it sometimes, and the place got closed down temporarily because their hygiene level wasn't good. They had a sink that didn't even work. They weren't washing their hands. Like all day, weren't washing their hands. There's a toilet under the counter. There wasn't. But it's like a sink that doesn't work. What is the point in that? That reminds me, when I worked in a chip shop, they had a sink that didn't work. And I said, "You need to get this fixed. This is ridiculous." Because we were literally standing there pretending to wash our hands. Now, I don't know if that's true or just a made up, but it sounds quite funny. Not funny, but like, just imagine standing there pretending to wash your hands, and you got all batter all over your hands, and then you go back and the batter's still on your hands. That'd be a weird one, wouldn't it? It's illegal to mislabel food products, also to sell fireworks without safety information, which no one reads, of course. It's illegal to cause light pollution in designated zones. I don't know what that means. What does light pollution mean? I really don't know. It is illegal to ignore court summons. Well, if I ever get called up for jury duty, I will not be going. So I guess I won't ignore it. I'll just tell them I'm not going. And if they say you got to come, then they're just going to have to come and get me and arrest me, because I'm not going. I'm not sitting on any jury service, because I know that I'm not capable of doing that. Sometimes it's good to know our limits, and because the fact is, if someone's comes in, depending, like when it comes to actually deciding on the whatever, whether or not they're guilty or innocent, for me it's going to depend on how I feel on the day, what my mood is. So if I wake up and I'm in a really good mood, I'll say, yeah, they're innocent. Let them go. What do you mean they're innocent? They admitted to it. No, they're innocent. Come on. So yeah, I would never. And two of the people in my building have already done it. They've been on jury service, and I ain't. Never doing it. Never, won't. And they can do what they want. Take me to court. That'd be weird, wouldn't it? If I end up having a jury looking at me because I wouldn't do jury service. But it's your duty as a member of society. Look, if it's bad for society for me to be a member of a jury, then it's not a good thing for me to be a member of the jury, is it? See? It's like, don't put me in charge of a department in the government, because I will mess things up. There are some things it's got sometimes good to know ourselves. It is illegal to knowingly break any act of Parliament, even the ones that still technically in force. Even the odd ones still technically in force. So that'd be interesting to know the acts of Parliament that are still in force that are just ridiculous. I'm just going to see if there's any way. Oh, okay. It's illegal to be drunk in charge of cattle, horses, or sheep on a highway. Unless the cattle, horses, or sheep are. I mean, okay. It's illegal to import potatoes from Poland without proper certification. It's a plant health law. What's wrong with Poland's potatoes? Just having to see if there's any other weird ones. It's not. You must not urinate in public places. Local bylaws. Fair enough. Kind of. I mean, isn't a public toilet a public place? Am I being too pedantic? I mean, a public toilet is, by its name, a public place. You must not drive without wearing glasses if your license requires them. Okay. Cycling on pavement. This is one. Cycling on pavements is illegal unless signs permit it. Now, if everyone that cycled on the pavement got arrested, the prisons would have to they'd have to build about another 10 prisons. Right. I'm pretty much done. It is illegal to treasonously imagine the death of a monarch. Treason Act 1351. Wow. So you can't even imagine. It's illegal to even think things back then. You must not touch the crown jewels. I wonder if Camilla was told. It's illegal. Okay, I'm just looking for any really weird ones. I think that's it. I think that's it. Public indecency in graveyards is illegal. I broke that law in 1991. Sorry. We didn't have anywhere to go. Let it not be said that I don't know how to show a lady a good time. Definitely a memorable first date. Not something I would do today. I was a young, carefree, naughty boy back then. And that, I do believe, is the end of this recording. And I just want to say thank you for listening. There's been some weird laws here. Remember to be kind to yourself because you do deserve to be happy. Be gentle with yourself. You deserve to feel safe. And remember that you are enough. You really are already enough. And you're going to be okay. Lots of love.